Hi, I'm Dickie Guerrero. I'm 36 years old and I spent 17 years of my life in the military. I did 8 years prior enlisted in the Army and the Signal Corps. So I was a guy with a radio on his back or target, whatever you think. And I've done 9 years thus far in the Air Force on the officer side. I'm an air battle manager. I'm a full-time reservist in the 970th Airborne Air Control Squadron. And on the jet, I'm a senior director. I grew up in Choctaw, Oklahoma, and I currently reside in Choctaw, Oklahoma, which is great. I definitely come from a military family. Both my grandfathers served in the Navy in World War II. My mother's father served in the European theater, and my father's father served in the Pacific theater. He was a prisoner of war and was caught up in the Bataan Death March. My parents both served in the Vietnam War. They met in Germany. My father was in the Army and my mother was in the Women's Army Corps. After that, my dad got smart, joined the Air Force, became an air battle manager, and also a senior director, so I'm definitely following in his footsteps. I have 2 older sisters. My oldest, she served in the Air Force and Intel, and my other sister, she's straight civilian and works for JCPenney Corporate. Both of them currently live with their families in Plano, Texas. And my family and I, like I said, live in Choctaw. My wife and I are actually celebrating our 10-year anniversary in about 10 days. And albeit we're gonna be separate because I'm at Al Dhafra Air Base in the UAE and she's at home with 3 kids. I have a 11-year-old daughter named Gracie, a 9-year-old son named Tucker, and a 2-year-old named Stella. So we spread it up a little bit, but that's all right. But since I am a father of 3, I don't really have spare time. So I would like to say that I like to play golf and go shoot skeet and have walks on the beaches, but I can't because 1, Oklahoma doesn't have beaches, and 2, I just don't have time. But my time away from work, I do like to volunteer to help coach my son's football team. But a typical day for us, I'll get to work at about 4 to 6 in the morning, definitely before anybody else wakes up. So I don't get to see my family until I make it home at about 5:30, and we have dinner together. And then the wife and I split up to take whichever kid we need to practice. So my daughter plays basketball, she's in honor choir, and then also has singing lessons. My son plays football, basketball, and baseball, and that lasts all year long. And now our 2-year-old's getting into gymnastics, so I don't know how we're gonna handle that. I have no idea. But like I said, I've been in the military for 17 years. So I've seen pretty broad spectrum on leadership and all the different types. The good, the bad, the ugly mainly when I was enlisted in the Army. But to be honest with you, you can learn from all of them, right? So I've taken bits and pieces from every single one of them. This is what I like, this is what I don't like. I'm gonna make sure I don't do that. I'm gonna make sure that I try to emulate this. Because there's been leaders that have inspired you. It's just like, oh my gosh, I'm gonna go do that right now. It's just really good oral speakers. And then there's other leaders that are just horrible human beings, and you wonder, how is this human being in charge in any capacity of any other human beings? But they are, because you know what, they do their PME like SOS or something like this, and they get promoted. But my personality type, as I've learned, is the entertainer. So I like to make people laugh. I try to get to something that I can relate to with my troops, whether it be someone that I work for or someone that works for me or someone that's my coworker, right? So other than just working with them on the jet, there's something that I can relate to them with. And I like to be that entertainer. I like to tell the stories and make people laugh, kind of gain that trust and just be relatable. And I think moving forward, that's how I'm gonna continue to operate. I'm gonna take bits and pieces from all the different leaders that I've wanted to emulate and bits and pieces of leaders that I think are horrible, and I'm gonna discard that. I'm gonna remember and take that as a lesson learned to not do that. So for me, Dickie Guerrero, military family, family man. I put family first. Work is a means to an end, but I am just so glad that I get to enjoy my work. Anyways, it's nice meeting you, and I can't wait to watch all of your videos and laugh, maybe. And hopefully you guys don't laugh too hard at mine. And I'm sorry for the poor lighting, but I am in the desert, so I'm sorry about that. And you guys have a good day. All right, bye.